So perhaps when we're ready, we can just drop in, so to speak, and just feel the earth beneath the feet. You can let your knees softly bend if that feels nice. Everything here is an invitation. It's not an instruction, it's an invitation. The difference is that nothing is required. You don't have to show up a certain way. Everything here is just an invitation to allow the body to relax, to feel comfortable, to feel grounded, and whatever else it might need. So let's just enjoy, if we can, enjoy the sensation of the feet on the ground. Very simple beginning of this YoQini session. If you like, you can rest the hands on the tummy. What this is going to do is it's just going to give the body the information of feeling the breath here as well as here. So you don't need to force the breath. You can just feel, the natural tide of inhale and exhale coursing through the torso. Eyes are open or closed, doesn't matter too much yet. And if you want to move around, you can, or if you want to stay still, you can. It's up to you. If there's any stiffness, tightness, aches or pains today, then different movements might help to relax that. So we're either situated still, or maybe we're moving around a little bit. It's all about what the body wants and intuitively needs. Throughout this session, you can breathe as loudly as you like. We can have a sigh, we can blow, we can yawn. These vocalizations of the breath can be very soothing for the nervous system. So when we rest our hands on the abdomen, we can gently invite the breath to come a bit more into the belly. If you imagine that the lungs are a little bit like a glass of water, we would breathe in, filling up from the base of the glass, and we're coming up to the top. And as we exhale, it's emptying out gently, gently back down to the bottom. Abdominal breathing, very simple yet very effective. Very nice. Just notice how you feel. What might be carried in the tissues right now. No rush to jump from one exercise to another. All right. If you like, we can rest one hand on the chest and one hand on the tummy. Now we're going to introduce wave breathing. It's very simple. So again, like the glass analogy, when we breathe in, you could imagine filling up from here at the base or the navel. And as you fill up, you come right up to the collarbones. Like a wave of energy moving up the torso, breathing in to fill up. And exhaling, reversing that motion back down. Emptying out from the collarbones down to the belly button. Very easy. If you're familiar with breath work, then you know what to do. You can just take your own rhythm, your own pace. Anytime you need to sigh or yawn or audibly exhale, just go for it. You don't need permission. You might like to blow that air out from the last 25 to 30%, the last third or quarter of the breath. If at any point you need to take a seat, just go ahead. We can adapt and modify the exercises to a seated position. Let's get this breathing exercise a little bit more embedded into the body system. Just keep that going a few more times at your own pace. Breathing in from belly, up to ribs, up to collarbone. Exhaling from collarbones to ribs to belly. Like the gentle lapping of an ocean tide. In and out. On the next exhale, shoulders relaxing. Very nice. Alright, I'm going to keep that breathing pattern going. We're just going to do a few flows called Buddha holds up the earth. So with that same breathing pattern, I'm just going to this isn't a stretch by the way, this is a flow, so you don't need to extend the arms too much when you do this. On the next inhale, you're just going to gently rise the hands up. They're going to face the lungs on the way up, and then they're going to extend out up above. But again, you don't have to stretch here too much, it's a flow, not a stretch. On the exhale, we very simply reverse that motion back down. Exhaling, emptying out. Very good. Inhaling gently on the way up. And exhaling gently on the way down. You can find your own pace, your own breath. Different bodies want different breathing patterns. You might find that it gets slower and slower the more times you do it. Buddha holds up the earth. This flow is designed to boost the lungs, the respiratory system. Corresponds to the metal element in Chinese medicine. Very gentle. It's the metal element, but it's moving like water. Take your time. Alright, maybe just 2 or 3 more of these. Your own pace, your own breath. That's lovely. Okay. When you're ready, just bring that back down. Notice how you feel. I'm going to softly bend the knees and I'm going to do knocking on the door of life. So it's like this. I'm going to start to swing from side to side. That's it. So when you come round, depending on the body again, always depending on how the body is, you can knock quite firmly with firm pressure on the abdomen and the lower back. What this is doing is it's stimulating different pressure points and the meridian pathways. It's also stimulating the kidneys to some extent. Looking over the shoulder, getting a nice spinal twist. Relax the shoulders. Energizing and relaxing at the same time. Very good. So we're in the Qigong section of our session. These standing exercises. We'll come down to the floor in a little while. And again, notice how firm the body wants to press on itself. It might build up a tolerance and then it can knock quite firmly. But sometimes it doesn't want to do that. That's it. Let it go. Eyes are open or closed still. Just again, it's all about what the body wants, what it needs. activation is excellent for the spinal cord and the central nervous system. That's right. All right, then we can start to slow that down, very slowly slow it down, gradual unwinding, working way back to center. And again, just feel any changes, any perceptual shifts in the body-mind system. Whether it's subtle or gross, doesn't matter too much. It's nice to take a pause between each activation. It allows the body to really absorb what's going on here. Alright, so we're going to do some tapping now. Again, this will resonate for different bodies in different ways. You can press as firmly or as gently as you like. So we're going to start on the rib cage and the obliques. This is a nice tribal kind of activation, yeah? So we're stimulating all kinds of parts of the body through doing this. I think this is the liver meridian on the side of the body. And we can switch. All right. I'm getting that energy flowing. That's right. Yeah. And then we're going to come up to the chest and the collarbones, stimulate the lungs and the respiratory system. This can be a bit tender sometimes, so just applying the right amount of pressure. And then we're going to come to the back of the body, so it's like just below the neck where the vagus nerve is located. Oh, good for soothing. Whew. All right, and then the shoulder, and we're going to come down the outside of the arm, down the outside, the yang channel. That's it. All right, and then we're going to flip that over and come up the inside, the yin channel. Very good, and then we switch shoulder. Okay, and all those pathways opening up. Down the yang and up the yin. Think about the meridians like rivers, and we're just removing any little blocks along the way. All right, let's do the tummy again. If you've recently eaten breakfast, Frühstück, go easy. And then we're going to do the kidneys and the lower back, the sacrum. And we're going to come down the legs just like we did with the arms. And you can do a forward fold if you like. You can bend the knees as gently as you need to. But if you fancy a nice stretch on the back of the legs, you can do a forward fold. And we can come back up the inside. Good, all right, let's do that again. So we'll start on the rib cage and the obliques. Nice. And the other side. Ooh. And then the chest. Those lungs open. And the upper back. And shoulder. Down the arms. If you ever hang out with children who are a little bit manic and all over the place and crazy, and they really need to get some stimulation, try this with them. It's a lot of fun. You can play music as well and just have a bit of a dance and a sing-song whilst tapping on the different parts of the body. And it's just getting the body really with itself, so to speak. Other shoulder. Down the outside. And up the inside. back up to the shoulder and to the tummy. Lower back, sacrum, or you can come higher if you want to stimulate the kidneys and the adrenals. You can also go down to the tailbone and then down the outside of the legs and up the inside. If you've got lower back pain, just be really gentle when coming down and coming back up again. And release. So the invitation here is just yeah, that's what we're doing next. Yeah, exactly. Shaking comes next. Yeah. So if you've not done the tapping exercises before, I imagine some of us probably have, there might be a development, an apparent development in the kinesthetic sensation in the body right now, a vibrancy, perhaps a little bit more activated and tingling in the limbs and especially in the hands. And they would say that this is the chi or the prana circulating around the body. So you can feel that sort of vibrancy and aliveness a bit more palpable. And just take that in. And then we're going to shake it out. Shake it out. Ah. Oh, that's it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Really shake. Have a really good shake, especially in those shoulders and the neck. Oh. Bounce through the knees. You can shake one leg at a time if you prefer. Ooh, shake through the arms. So you've got 2 arms, 2 legs and 1 spine, and these are called the 5 pumps, 5 energetic pumps in the body. And this shaking is just really excellent at getting all that energy circulating. It's like releasing any stagnancy that might build up in the tissues. Oh, it's very tribal, primal. Getting this release. And playing with the breath as well. I love it. Ooh. That's it, enjoy. Really shake through all of the extremities and the joints, the hips. And you can imagine that the breath is like vapor, turning stress into vitality, like water into vapor. And then when you're ready, just slowing it down. Slowing it down. Kinesthetic sensations much more vibrant now. Feel that chi, that pranic life force energy, vitality. Okay, so let's just do a couple of qigong flows. We're going to start with, let's get the posture for a start, shall we? So if it's comfortable for you, we're going to see if we can make our feet somewhat parallel. This is all invitational. If it doesn't work for you, if there's certain ailments that just doesn't agree with, then that's okay. But if it's comfortable, you can have the feet somewhat parallel and let the knees softly bend. The tailbone is going to roll gently under, so tilting the pelvis slightly back. Spine is long. Chin tucked ever so slightly in to elongate the back of the neck. Arms are going to rest like this, gently, without forcing anything. This wants to be as easy as possible. Elbows slightly extended out from the rib cage. Take up space. Wuji, emptiness stance. Okay, rest in that. And then on the next inhale, we're going to slowly come up and rise the arms up overhead and exhale out to the sides. Beautiful big circle. Very simple, very, very simple. And just keep that flow going. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Called the Buddha flow. Eyes are open or closed again, just however the body wants to be. If you're more kinesthetic and tactile inclined, you might like to close the eyes down and just feel into the palms as they move here. Syncing up the breath with the movement. Let's do this a couple more times in this direction and then we'll switch it. Nice and easy, take your time. Notice that how slow that breath wants to be. And whenever you're ready, no rush, you can do another one if you like. We're going to switch direction when you're ready. We're going to inhale out and exhale down. So we had the Buddha flow coming up and then out, and this one's called pulling down the heavens. And we'll reverse that motion very gracefully. Graceful. That's lovely. So we inhale up and exhale down. And for the next 3 times that we do this, I'm going to hum on the exhale all the way down the midline. You can join me if you like, you don't have to. It's good for soothing the nervous system. Just imagine that vibration traveling all the way through the spine, the central nervous system. Stimulating the various pathways in the brain. Very nice. And then just play with that beautiful chi ball, beautiful ball of light. Imagine just this glowing, sensational vibrancy. And then you can just rest that gently into the hara, the lower dantian, just behind or below the navel. We're ending the standing portion of this session with the way we started. Nice, easy abdominal breathing. We're going to come down to a seat now. So if you're comfortable cross-legged, that's great. You can kneel if you prefer, or you can even sit on a chair. Alright, so we'll just take a mindful moment to notice how we feel. If you need a cushion to support the hips, go ahead and grab one. Just going to do a few asanas before we relax into a yoga nidra space. So either cross-legged or kneeling, whatever supports the hips and the spine most. You can close the eyes gently. Do you want a cushion? If you place these under the hips, that might be. Yeah? So don't force the spine to elongate here if you're not used to sitting cross-legged. Okay? So we're going to do a spinal twist, I think, to begin with. So just the spine wants to be nice and long, but without compromising the relaxation of these bits here, yeah? So we're going to rest one hand on the opposite knee, and this other hand is going to rest behind the hip of the same knee. So just everything is happening on one side, and we're going to look over the shoulder with a nice long spine. Again, you can do it kneeling or cross-legged, whatever's more comfortable. That's it. Without forcing that spine to twist too much. With each inhale, just imagine that spine is lengthening. With each exhale, relaxing into the twist. 2 or 3 or 4% more. Whenever you're ready, you can just go ahead and switch sides, doing the exact same on the other side. Nice long spine, relax the shoulders. Imagine each exhale is encouraging those shoulders to relax a little bit more. No force required here. And whenever you're ready, we can just do this 1 or 2 more times on both sides. Your pace, your breath. Take your time. If you prefer, you can just go seamlessly from one side to the other, if that is nicer for you. You can just keep on switching. This is a bit like wringing out a cloth. When it's just like got all this stagnant energy, just squeezing it, wringing out the cloth of the spine. Really nice. All right. Let's do a lateral. Yeah, take your time, take your time. I'm going to do a lateral stretch now. So again, I like to offer 2 options here. You can just hang it like this, just for several breaths, or if you prefer more fluidity, then you can just go from one side to the other like that, like a pendulum. So you can hang it, or you can swing it. Enjoy wherever, however. Just get that lovely stretch on the side body, both sides. That's it. Play with it. And breath, encouraging and inviting the body to relax. If you can keep both hips evenly planted on the ground, this is good. Just helps to keep that support. But don't worry too much about that. Nice, everyone. All right. Working our way back, and then we're going to lie down. So go ahead, if it's okay for you, we're going to lie down and we're going to do some, movements on our back. Yeah. So if you want to come onto a rug, that's cool. That space is free as well if you're more comfortable on a cushion. That's it. So I'm just going to invite you to do whatever the body wants to do. Move around. If you are familiar with it, lying down exercises, just go ahead and do them. Exactly. You can do spinal twists if you know how to do that. Bring in the knees like windshield wipers. You can bring the knees into the chest. Yeah, you can cross the feet over. This is where it gets into improvisation, which I really love. There's nothing right or wrong. Just go ahead and do what the body knows what it wants to do. It's like being a baby again. This body is just moving around. That's it. Stretch those legs or those arms. Gorgeous. You can stay absolutely still as well if you want to do that. There's no right or wrong. Exhale, breathe. Again, eyes are open or closed. Visual cortex is not required here. Very nice. You can even roll over onto your tummy if you want to and do a cobra pose, if you've got enough space for it and you want to. Whether we're rolling over to one side or... That's it. It's just so nice when the body has this time and this space to be able to really tune into itself, deeply physiological level. For the rest of this time, we are going to stay lying down, so we don't need to worry about moving around. Do just carry on doing what you're doing, but if you want some suggestions, you can bring one knee into the chest and extend one leg out and then switch. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to. Yeah. The shoulders can really relax. And this isn't about being aware, of course, but it might be quite obvious right now that every single movement in the room is just happening by itself. I mean, it's just wonderful. All of these flexions and extensions and the joints and the muscles playing. Yeah. If you enjoy bringing one knee in and one leg out, you can do that a few times on both sides. And once you've brought one knee in and one knee out, you can, if you wish, bring both knees into the chest. Again, it's only an option or a suggestion. If you do bring the knees into the chest, you can bring the head up towards the knees without tensing up in the shoulders, ideally. It's so nice to see bodies just really intuitively moving like this. There's no effort required. There's not really much thinking about it, it's just happening. That's it. Happy Baby is a really nice option if you're familiar with that. I love it. If you'd like to give Happy Baby a go and you know how and you haven't already, you can take hold of the outer edges of the feet, and the soles of the feet are facing the ceiling. That's it. Trying to get the lower back on the ground as much as possible whilst in that posture. Notice if the shoulders have a tendency to tense up. See, we can relax the shoulders as well as the lower back. Nice job, everyone. It's lovely. This is like just being a child. It's just so childlike. It's lovely. That's why it's called Happy Baby. I'm going to give it a go. I'm missing out. Oh yeah, if you're in Happy Baby, you can rock from side to side. Again, you don't have to do this. And you might also like to extend one leg out and then the other. These are really nice options. And then another option, if you wish, you can do windshield wipers, where you bring the soles of the feet to the floor, knees are bent, and you just drop knees to one side and then the other. Still lying down, still lying down. That's it. Knees drop one way and then the other. This is so nice for the hips. Windshield wipers. If you really want to go for that spinal twist, when the knees drop down one way, the head can go the other way. You can look to one side as the knees go one way and the other. Enjoy. Enjoy. Alright, so I invite 2 more postures, and again, if you are doing something different, this is totally great. So these are just options for you. So if you want to, you can move into bridge pose. So this is very simple. It's a nice strengthening exercise without too much force or pressure, where you bring the soles of the feet back, knees are bent. You want the feet to be relatively underneath the knees, like a straight line. And you're going to lift the lower, maybe even the mid, and maybe even the upper back off of the ground into bridge pose. Hands can rest on the tummy, or if you need additional support, you can rest the arms on the ground, press the palms into the floor. It's another option. Nice strengthening exercise without too much difficulty. Make sure not to hold the breath if you're in that one. That's it. Another variation is you can interlace the fingers underneath the back if you haven't got any shoulder problems. Very nice. Okay. And whenever you're ready, you can just let that go. Slowly, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, comes down to the ground. And if you want one more posture before coming into Shavasana, you can drop the knees to both sides, coming into a supine bound angle pose. So the soles of the feet are pressed to each other, knees apart. You don't have to do this again if it doesn't feel good. Just another nice hip exercise. Breathe into the lower back here, don't press anything. And whenever you're ready, you can just move into your relaxation posture. Now, I'm sure many of us are familiar with Shavasana, but if you're not, it's traditionally where you lie on your back with the legs slightly open, so the feet are further apart. If anyone wants a blanket, just raise your hand and let me know. I can come around with some. Do you want a blanket, JT?
All right.
Blanket? Yeah. Do you need a cushion for behind your head? Yeah. want a blanket? Do you want a blanket?
What?
A blanket?
Oh no.
No? Blanket? Blanket?
No, it's okay. It's okay. No. I will.
All right. Yes. It's blue on blue as well.
Yeah.
It's perfect for you. All right, just get really comfy. This is about as yin as it gets. Do you want a blanket, Lara? All right. Okay, so now this is the part where really nothing is required.
That's the best.
Yeah. So if you feel safe here and comfortable, you can let that body really drop down now, where it can just really sink down deeply into the ground or the surface that supports it. Notice where the hands want to be. There's no right answer. Some people like to rest the arms by the sides with open palms. Other people prefer to rest the palms facing down. The palms could be resting on the belly or the chest. And the body is really invited here to just totally relax. Totally relax. All of those tissues, all of the fibers, the glands, the organs, the joints, everything invited to soften here. Effortless. You can listen to my voice as closely or as loosely as you like. You can filter me out completely if you want. Breath is simply breathing. Body is simply bodying. Thoughts simply thinking. Everything simply what it is. So for just a short while, the body's just going to rest. Sensation and vibration trickling through. All sensation and vibration just being what it is. No effort required for the body to breathe, to be. just is, breathing and being and resting. You could imagine, if you like, the body is just getting heavier and heavier, letting go of any stress and tension with each exhalation. You could even imagine the body is a little bit like a snow globe, and all of the energy and vibrancy of the body, like all of those snowflakes circulating around, every single snowflake, every bit of momentum, just coming back down to the earth, settling. And if there's any restlessness, don't worry about it. It just is what it is. All thoughts and ideas and ponderings, as well as any emotions or feelings, are just what is showing up. Easy. If you are visually inclined and you would like an exercise to anchor the body-brain system, you could imagine that with each inhale, every cell of the body just grows a little bit brighter, like a bright white radiant light, shining, dazzling in every cell from head to toe. And with each exhale, every single cell in the body just softens and relaxes. With each inhale, bright white light, and with each exhale, softening. Just imagine every breath soothing every single cell. No need to change the breathing pattern. Breath is already breathing. Whenever you're ready, and not a moment before, you can let that exercise go if you haven't already. And the body can just very gently start to come awake to itself again. No rush. It might start to flex and extend from the fingers and the toes, and the hands and the feet, and gently, bit by bit, the body will come alive to itself, waking back up. You can curl up into a ball or roll over to one side. Take a deep breath, or a yawn, or a sigh. Can work our way into a sitting position. So, I hope you enjoyed this YoQini session with me. It was a lot of fun doing it together. And I do sessions each week online now. If anyone ever wants to drop in, it would be lovely to see you there. You can find all that information on the website. And thanks so much.